Hey, Cow Faith family. So I'm a little confused, and I'm hoping you guys can explain something to me. So I keep seeing these videos on the internet, like, oh, I bet my girlfriend's gonna fill up on chips and salsa and not eat her meal at the Mexican restaurant. Do some of you go to a Mexican restaurant with the intention of eating your food and not filling up on chips and salsa and taking home your meal? Because I go to Mexican restaurants because it's automatically buy one get one free. I eat all the chips and salsa I can handle there. I leave full, satisfied, just living my best life. But I also got lunch for the next day. Do y'all not do that? Like, is that not a normal thing? Because that kind of hurts my feelings. Like, you guys just eat your entrees at Mexican restaurants? What? But it's crazy because there's this one Mexican restaurant. Listen, we drive 45 minutes if we want to eat there, okay? Because it's so good. They have a salsa bar. That's what's up. You can mix and match the salsas. We have this perfect mixture that's just oh, it's so good. And all their salsas are just awesome. We will eat 12 baskets of chips, okay? Easy, no big deal. Now, we don't tell anybody that we eat 12 baskets of chips because that's frowned upon in society. However, we're here to live our best lives. And then we take home this giant, heavy, unbelievably full box of food and we eat off of it for the next several days because there's so much food. And isn't that just like God? Now, hear me out. Okay, I took a turn there, but my goodness, God has always provided me with chips and salsa. He's always given me what I needed when I needed it. There was plenty of variety. I was able to mix things together and get a totally new thing out of it. But there's still leftovers in the fridge. It's so exciting when you don't have to worry about tomorrow because you already have lunch. It's already ready. I just can't even tell you guys. Man, last year, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, I came to church. I was in the middle of my Job crisis, okay? I had lost both my parents. I was having to move out of my house. I didn't have my ministry. I had lost everything. There was very little that I had left, if any. I was in this deep, dark depression. I was just surrounded by these circumstances that I didn't do anything wrong, but for whatever reason, nothing was going right. And I went to church just totally deflated, defeated, discouraged, and just really just over it. I was just over it. And then I ugly cried through the entire service. And of course, I was sitting next to someone new who I just met, and they didn't know me, and they're like, hey, do you want to be friends? And I'm like, yeah. Right, of course. Okay, so humbling moment for sure, but those sermons that are just like, man, that we stopped production because you needed to hear this. It was just one of those messages. And I came back to life the Sunday before last Thanksgiving. I went from last year, I was literally searching for something to be thankful for because I didn't feel good. I knew my body wasn't healthy. Something was wrong and I had lost everything else. So I'm like, it's Thanksgiving. I have to come up with something to be thankful for. And I just genuinely don't have anything. I'm trying. I am trying to have a grateful heart, but I have nothing to be thankful for. I'm not going to go to hell. And that was what I had landed on Sunday morning when I came to church. But the preacher talked about how you can be thankful for the future, thankful for the things that are yet to come. Thank you for the things that God's already started working. And it's just like those Mexican leftovers. We don't always have to thank him for the chips and salsa. Sometimes we have chips and salsa in abundance, but sometimes, the waiter's a little bit slow and we're like, where's more chips and salsa, right? But the thing is we know there's more coming. We know that more is going to be provided to us, but we also know that there's going to be more in days to come. And today, it is the 1 year anniversary of the day I came back to life. I've been saved forever. I don't remember a time when I wasn't saved. I was saved as a toddler, okay? And I remember that, but I've never had this, he pulled me out of the muck and mire story. But last year, it was my muck and mire. I still believed in God, still loved God, but, knew Jesus was the way. He was Lord of my life. I was doing everything I could to please him, but the circumstances of life had just totally blown me over. So I came back to life. And then today, it just came full circle. The message today at church was about the widow who only had enough flour and enough oil for her and her son to eat one more meal. And then they were going to die from the famine. But they chose to put God first. They chose to do what they were supposed to do. They took a risk, a leap of faith, and there was more. And they sustained the whole famine because there was more, and there was more. And that's just like my Mexican leftovers. I have chips and salsa galore. Listen, it has not been an easy year. I almost died. I literally was inches from death. I should be dead right now. And I'm not. I'm not. From a year ago when all hope was lost, and it was a tough year. It wasn't like I've had my, restoration. I don't have millions of dollars and I haven't been fully restored, and there are things that I still lost and I'm still grieving. I miss my parents so much. But there's more. There's more in the fridge. I have more leftovers that I get to enjoy for days, weeks, months, years to come. Because the great thing about God and the gifts he provides is there's more, and you don't have to worry about it spoiling. You don't have to worry about it going bad. You can fill up on all the chips and salsa, but you're going to have an entree to keep you going even after you leave the restaurant, even after church is over for the week. There's still more. And God is just so good. And Mexican food is good too, but totally different goods. So, next time you go to the Mexican restaurant, eat your fill of chips and salsa, and don't post on the internet that you bet the person you're with is going to fill up on chips and salsa. Like it's a bad thing, because I just can't even grasp that. But know that there are times that you're going to be sick of chips and salsa, but God's going to sustain you. He's going to get you through. And when you get home, there's going to be so many leftovers. There's so much more to come. That flour and that oil are not going to run out. You're not going to die in this famine. So, go team, moo!